Hey everyone, welcome back to Cordova's Kitchen. On my page it says Cordova's Homestead, which that is us. We were going to change it because my husband was going to join in on my page, but we decided we're going to do them separate, so I have to wait 10 more days to be able to change my name back. So we will go back to Cordova's Kitchen. So today we are going to be making some Snickerdoodle Blondies and some soft and chewy M&M cookies. Ooh, so let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with our Snickerdoodle Blondies. So it calls for a 9x9 pan. So I'm just gonna use my little glass pan here. And I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. So that is preheating. And it says to spray with cooking spray our pan. So I am gonna, okay, so we have our pan sprayed. So we will set that off to the side while we get, let me pull you in a little bit here. Okay, sorry, I have a huge mess, but this recipe calls for most of this for this recipe. So we have 1.5 sticks of butter in our bowl. Let me adjust you a little bit more because I want you to be able to see everything I'm doing. Okay, so I have 1.5 sticks of butter in here. And then it says to cream together 1 cup of sugar. So let me get, I hope, I have a fan on in front of me and I hope it's not too noisy. Okay, so there is 1 cup of white sugar, and then it calls for 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. So, I don't know if you guys know this little trick. It looks weird, but I have a little piece of bread in my brown sugar. And if you keep that in there, my brown sugar's coming off of it. If you keep that in there, it will keep your, see how soft? And that's been in the refrigerator for a little while. So, okay, 1/2 cup of packed. That way you don't have to fight with that sugar when it gets all hard. And then when you're done with it, just stick it back in, or you can stick a new one back in, whichever you prefer. And then I've just been wrapping a little rubber band around there. Okay, so we're going to cream these two together. Hopefully it's not too noisy. It says until it's light and fluffy, which we're getting there. I had to put my butter in the microwave for like 15 seconds because it wasn't all the way soft. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, and now we're going to put both, okay, we got both sugars. We're going to add the eggs. We have two large eggs, which I have them on my counter here. I need to put something where I can put my shells. Okay, here we go. So we have, just make sure you don't get any eggshells. There's one. And, oh, this one we might. Oh. Okay, so there is two 2 large eggs. And we need vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, and I think it's that one. I've never made these, so again, it's going to be a first. Oh, okay. I kind of figured that was going to happen. So I have my little bitty. Look how little. You can actually get these at the Dollar Tree. It's little, but it is full. So let me put another half. When we go every once in a blue moon to the Dollar Tree, but you can actually get some good things like your pie fillings and your vanilla, your coconut oils. They have a few different things that you can get, and it's like a quarter of the price at Walmart or wherever. Okay, let me stir this in. You can see why they're called Blondies, because of their blonde color. Okay, that is also thickening up. Okay, so in another bowl, it says to whisk together our flour, which we need 2 cups. Here's 1. And there's 2. And then we need our cinnamon. We need 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So let's wipe that out. Okay, and this is just what I say, 1 teaspoon. Yeah, 1 teaspoon. So that's just our regular, cinnamon. Okay, and salt. Let me grab the salt. I forgot that. Oh, I don't know what, my husband must have got a hold of this one. Okay, we're gonna open the top. For some reason, he's got the whole top off of here. Now you see why we want to do our 2 separate videos. Oh, goodness. He does some strange things sometimes. Okay, this is a half, so we want half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and we are just going to put so much here that whisk this together. And the oven is almost preheated. I was going to actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was actually going to just bake a couple off of these and put the rest of the dough in the freezer. But we'll see how it goes. We might just end up and bake them all off. Okay, and then we're going to have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon sugar, but we're going to do that at the end. Let's kind of get all this together here. So now we're going to add our dry to our wet. Crash kabang. Okay. Flour up the kitchen. I'm hoping this isn't too loud. Okay, that cinnamon and sugar mixture is going to go on the top of this. Ooh. That jumped out of my hands. Okay, there is our oven. And let me get my little spatula here. So that is ready to go for us. Get this off of the beaters here. Okay, so now we have our pan that we're gonna dump all this in. Maybe. Well, come on. It is a very thick batter. I had a spoon somewhere. Okay, we're going to do it this way. That spatula, when you use it, it wants to bend, so regular spoon is going to be better. Okay, that is more like it. Okay, now it says to press this down in the pan. And again, this is sprayed, so you want to make sure you spray your pan. This makes the perfect amount, actually. Calls for a 9x9 pan. So I'm not sure what size this is, but this is a rectangle pan instead of a squared off pan. So, but I think it's going to equal out to about the same, or pretty close anyway. Okay, so now let me grab a little dish. Okay, so in here we're going to put 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of sugar. So here's 1, 2, and I've got to get in a habit to move on down here so you all can see what I am doing. Let me wipe this off. I don't want my cinnamon in my sugar. Okay, and 2 tablespoons of regular sugar. Okay, and now we're just going to mix that up. Smells good. I have that fan blowing on me, and it just makes all the wonderful smells come up at you. Okay, so this we're just going to put on top. Yeah, you can see me. We might not need all of it. Okay, I think you could actually use a teaspoon. It does say tablespoon on the directions, but because there's that much left, and I don't feel like all that needs to go on there because it's coated pretty good. So, okay, that is our Snickerdoodle Blondies. So we will get those in the oven, and let's see. It says bake until golden and slightly soft in the middle, 25 to 30 minutes, and let cool before slicing. Okay, so I'm going to get these in the oven, and then we will get started on our other cookies. Okay, here is where my microphone went off because my phone shut down unexpectedly. So I think it's from so much videos and stuff that I have on it that it's bogging it down. But anyway, in my mixer, I am getting 2 sticks of butter, unsalted, and a half a cup of regular sugar and 1 1/4 cups of lightly packed brown sugar. And we are going to cream that together until it's fluffy. Then we are going to also add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 large eggs plus 1 egg yolk, and we're going to get all of that in there together. In a separate bowl for our dry ingredients, we're going to have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and it calls for 1 1/4 teaspoon of fine sea salt. I do not have fine sea salt, so I just used about a teaspoon, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon of regular salt, table salt. And here, you all know me with my flour. Oh, I think it's a comedy show every time I do the flour. But I've just put a little bit in, and you will see right here, even though I did it, it still plops out in the front right there. Oh my goodness, I tell you. So I didn't have the front covered very good. So we're just going to let that mix a little bit. In the meantime, the Snickerdoodles just came out of the oven, and they look and smell wonderful. So they need to cool off for about 30 minutes. So we're just setting those to the side. So here we're going to dump in the rest of our flour. I was going to do a little bit, and then I just said, heck with it, we'll just put it all in there. So again, I'm going to put the towel back over there, and we'll see how I do this time. This time I covered the front a lot better. I do have a guard that goes on the top there, but it still flies out of it, so I don't even bother using that anymore. But anyway, get that. I put the speed on a little bit higher there. Just scrape down your sides. You can do this with a hand mixer too if you want to. I just like using my stand mixer. It's a lot more convenient to me and not as noisy. Okay, now we're going to put in, it calls for a 12-ounce bag of M&Ms. Now mine is the peanut butter M&Ms. I'm grabbing the bag to show you what I have. So that's the kind I'm using, but it only takes a 12-ounce little bag. And then we're going to put a half a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. So we're going to get those in there. I'm looking for my measuring cup. So put a half a cup in there, or more if you like to put extras in. You could even add nuts, pecans or walnuts or something in these if you wanted to. But the recipe just calls for the M&Ms and the chocolate chips. So we're just gonna let that do a good mix, and then get everything off of the paddle. And I do have some regular flat cookie sheet pans that's on my stove, waiting for us to get to that part. If you hear a banging or something, we have lamb and they are on the side of the house, and the room that I am in, if they are hitting that, it makes a noise. So if you hear something, that's what that is. But so here we got our flat cookie sheet and with some parchment paper, and just giving it a quick little scrape down. And it says to use about 3 tablespoons to put for each cookie. So I just got out my little ice cream scooper because that is really, really handy. So I wasn't sure how far out these were gonna expand, so I made sure I had room in between each one. They turned out wonderful. So these is another first. Most of my recipes is first time making them. So I like doing that because it just gives, you don't get bored making the same old stuff over and over. So it's nice to try the new things. So there's one sheet, and the oven is still at 350 degrees. So it is all ready to go. Get some more parchment paper. You see how it curls up at the end? I always flip it over so that way it stays down and it's more sturdy and not going all over the place. So again, making sure I have a little bit of space in between each one. My grandkids is already, when they came home from school, they didn't realize I had them, so they was getting ready to get their snack for that they get every day when they come home from school, and I told them they could go have their choice of the cookies or the Snickerdoodles. I think they both chose the cookies. Okay, that's that pan, and we have one more. And it works out good because I have 3 different racks in my oven, so I was able to get all 3 in there at one time. So that saved a lot of time in itself right there. My bottom shelf in my oven is kind of low, so I almost had a big accident because when I put the pan on the bottom shelf, I went to slide it in, and the parchment paper with the cookie dough slid right off of the pan. So I had to grab the parchment paper and get it back on the cookie sheet. but everything turned out well. So we almost have them all here. I was gonna put them in my freezer at this point and let them freeze, flash freeze. And then I was going to put them in a Ziploc bag so that way they don't stick together. And you can just pull out and bake them as you want. And the more I thought about it, I just thought, nah, we'll just go ahead and get them all baked up. Sweets and things around here never goes to waste. Okay, I think that was the last right there. I was just adding some on there. I was saying right here, if when you scrape out your bowl and your like the cookie scoop and things like that, you get a lot more out of it than you think you do. So right here, I was just telling you, I'm going to get them in the oven. It calls for 350 degrees for 11 to 13 minutes. Okay, everyone, our cookies are done. So these are our Snickerdoodle Blondies. And that's what those look like. And they have the cinnamon and sugar on the top of them. They smell wonderful. And then we have our 3 tiers of our soft and chewy M&M cookies. So I'm not going to pick that whole thing up because they'll probably all fall off. But that is what they look like. They haven't been out of the oven long. So that is the inside. My son is here, but I know he won't come on camera. Or will you? Everybody's chicken of my camera. And I don't want to get this whole thing. That is what the inside of those look like. Those cookies are really good. If you like a softer cookie or bar, whatever you want to call it, these are wonderful. Okay, so that is going to end our video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you give these a try. And I'll have the directions down in the description below. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. That is our Snickerdoodle Blondies. And these are our soft and chewy M&M cookies. And we have 3 tiers of them.